You can start.
Greetings. Welcome to the International Internship University, IIU. I'm thrilled to be your trainer and resource person today for the session on my topic, which is the power of words. This session is a golden opportunity for educators, counselors, parents, and students alike. I am Jeannie Rapstad, president of Jeannie Rapstad Enterprises, LLC, creator of the Speech Jeannie entertainment and educational products. I'd like to thank the visionary Mr. Piyush Pandit and IIU. We are here to equip you with skills and knowledge that will truly empower you. Our goal is to ensure that no one is deprived of an education and skills, fostering a world filled with capable individuals. My topic is the power of words and how your choice of content add meaning and impact to your speech presentations. So without further ado, let's kickstart today's session and explore the fascinating world of speech preparation and delivery. So get ready to enrich your skills and broaden your horizons. So I'm going to share my slides now. So this is the power of words, and it's the first class of a two-class course. In the first class, we're going to focus on content, writing and organizing your script. And the purpose of this two-course curriculum is to inform on two very important elements of speech presentations. Tomorrow, the second class will focus on the speaker's delivery choices of the content that we are going to talk about today. In my opinion, there are four major components of a successful speech presentation. They are the speaker, the audience, the speech content, and the speaker's delivery of that content. Each of the components must seamlessly align for a successful presentation. For example, the speaker must conquer any speech anxiety that they may have and prepare themselves for a poised and confident presentation to an appropriate audience. The speaker must take the time to familiarize themselves with their audience's demographics, needs, and expectations in advance of their presentation. However, those two components, speaker and audience, are topics for another time. Today, we're going to talk about class one, the content, the words the speaker chooses to relay their story, subject matter, main points, and ideas. We will discuss the different types of speeches and how to develop an outline to help you organize your script, and the importance of developing your wordsmithing skills. Wordsmithing has to do with improving clarity and style once you've developed your content. Wordsmithing is one of the skill sets needed to bring power to your words. We'll talk more about wordsmithing later in the class. Now, class two, which will be held tomorrow, will inform on the speaker's delivery choices, the verbal and nonverbal choices that they make that help them bring their words to life. There are many types of speeches. The style of speech that the speaker chooses is dependent upon the speech. The purpose of the speech will drive the content. For example, let's say that a coworker is retiring from the company after 30 years of service. His supervisor has been asked to speak at his retirement party. The supervisor will deliver a tribute speech honoring the retiree's dedicated service to the company. The supervisor will write and wordsmith a speech with just the right amount of gratitude for the past service and sincere best wishes for the future. As you see here on the slide, there are many types of speeches that you will encounter during the course of your public speaking life. Today, our focus is going to be on ceremonial, elevator speech, the informative speech, and the persuasive speech. During the course of your life, no doubt you'll be asked to speak many times at various events, at work, social organizations, your place of worship, your job. If you're taking classes at school, you'll be asked to speak. May I suggest that each time you write and deliver a speech, you save that speech in a folder so that you can use it as a template later on. Each time you deliver a particular type of speech, your organizational and wordsmithing skills will grow exponentially. So always keep copies of your speeches, and that will save you time down the road. The first speech type that we're going to discuss this morning is ceremonial speeches. And here are some examples of ceremonial speeches: eulogies or celebration of life, religious rites such as baptisms and coming of age celebrations, toasts to the bride and groom, presenting an award, receiving an award, or graduation addresses. I have some suggestions for you regarding ceremonial and celebratory speeches. Please keep them short and to the point, because your speech is not the only item or main point on the event's agenda. You're not the star of the show. You are an important supporting player, but a supporting player nonetheless. Word choices are very important in ceremonial speeches. When making word choices in your speech, please maintain a balance of emotion, logic, and credibility. Use descriptive language that includes everyone. This is not a time to promote your personal agenda. Rather, it's a time for you to use colorful and vivid language that captures and holds the attention of the audience to the benefit of all the people at the ceremony. Excuse me. Be careful with your words. Remember that ceremonies are milestones in people's lives. They will remember your words their entire lives. So be kind, be courteous, be enthusiastic, and bring magic to the moment. Here is a clarifying example. Suppose you are speaking at a graduation. Basic language might be, today we graduated from this university. I'm so glad this is over. I hope we will all get good jobs. Now, this is an example of more descriptive and appropriate language. Today, my fellow graduates, we celebrate 4 years of dedicated effort that brought us to this milestone graduation ceremony from this distinguished university. Let us be grateful for the sacrifices and support of our parents and extended family. Let us be proud of our accomplishments. Let us go forth and be great. You can never go wrong when you choose language that encourages people and that includes everyone at the ceremony. Everyone should have an elevator speech. An elevator speech is used to introduce yourself to other people that you encounter in business and social and conference settings. A good elevator pitch should last no longer than a short elevator ride of 20 to 30 seconds, hence the name. It should spark interest in you and your company or organization. It should highlight what you do and how you serve others. Here is an example of a 27-second elevator speech, something that I use. My speech, Jeannie, speaker education products help people improve their communication skills. I'm Jeannie Rapstad, president of Jeannie Rapstad Enterprises, LLC. I offer private speaker coaching, pitch workshops for entrepreneurs, and entertainment programs for hire. My humor workshops for business speakers can be held at your company or your company's choice of venue. Whatever your speaker needs are, I am your speech genie. Now you see, in this short period of time, I introduced myself, my company, and what our products are and how they could help serve potential customers. An informative speech is a speech that's used very often at conferences and presentations because the purpose of the speech is to inform the audience on a topic that maybe they're not familiar with. And there are 4 types of informative speeches: definition, demonstration, explanatory, and descriptive. The purpose always is to inform the audience. The topic should be narrow enough that it can be discussed fully in the allotted time frame. Facts, data, and statistics are often used to support the subject matter. The speaker should use recent references that support new innovations in the field that they're discussing. If we are talking about a hot topic item that is being developed currently across the board, we won't want to cite a reference that goes back 20 years because it's out of date, unless there is a fact in it that is really necessary to the discussion. The speaker should use their recent references that they've cited throughout the speech and in the bibliography. The references should be scholarly sources, interviews, conference presentations, magazines and newspaper sources, trade publications, articles from government publications and websites, along with other official sources. Social media citations should be considered anecdotal data and not scholarly proof. The rule of thumb is if you take information from a website that ends in .gov or .org or an actual company's website, that's probably more valuable than something that you picked up off a .com. A full sentence outline can be very helpful in crafting a successful, informative speech presentation. There are many outline templates available online and through Microsoft Word. Now, here is a brief summary of what constitutes the components of an informative speech outline. First, the introduction includes the thesis statement, followed by the body of the speech where the topics and reference materials are introduced, summed up by the speech conclusion, which highlights the topics and circles back to the thesis. Outlining your speech gives you the opportunity to find exactly the right words to get your point across. Once you have your full sentence outline completed, you can go back and wordsmith your presentation for maximum impact. So looking at the first section, introduction, it is wonderful if you can open with a hook to get your audience's attention. Establish your credibility. Why are you the right person to be speaking on this particular topic? Then make your thesis statement bold and clear so there is no doubt about your point of view. When you go to the body and start building your speech topic by topic, each paragraph will have a main idea followed by support ideas Cite the reference that you are using to support your point, then transition to the next topic. Repeat this as often as necessary, remembering to keep track of your time. You're given an allotted time frame, and it is speaker courtesy to remain within that time frame. And then the conclusion. Never introduce new material in the conclusion. The point of the conclusion is to sum up and return and restate the thesis statement. The persuasive speech is a very powerful tool that's used often in politics and when we are introducing new ideas to the public, when we're trying to have something accomplished in our own lives, in our own neighborhood. I'll give you an example of that shortly. But the purpose is to convince an audience to accept the speaker's point of view and take action to accomplish the speaker's goal. Persuasive speeches rely on Aristotle's 3 laws of rhetoric. First, ethos, which is the speaker's credibility. The speaker introduces themselves and presents their bona fides on the topic to convince the audience that they are qualified to speak on this topic, that they are an expert in this field, and because of that, they are deserving of the audience's attention and support. Secondly, the speaker uses pathos in the form of empathy or even fear to appeal to their audience's emotions so that they can persuade them to their point of view. Logos is the speaker's ability to use logic and reasoning to convince their audience. The speakers offer evidence that supports their arguments. Effective persuasive speakers can often use nonverbal cues, a tone of voice, and an overall confidence in their manner to influence their listeners. So this goes back a long way to Aristotle, but it's still very much in use today. The way to outline a persuasive speech is to use Monroe's motivated sequence. Now, this is a technique that was developed by Alan H. Monroe, a professor at Purdue University in the mid-1930s. Purdue, by the way, is my alma mater. This sequence is still a very effective tool in motivating people toward a specific goal or action. The 5 steps in the sequence are arousing attention, showing a need, satisfying the need, visualizing the results, and calling for action. Wordsmithing is very important in persuasive speeches. If you want your words to have the power to move and motivate your audience, you must spend time finding the right ones to do the job. Now, here is an example of someone developing a persuasive speech using these 5 steps to call for action within their community. Let's say that we have a neighborhood with a lot of children, grammar school age, and very close to the houses is a park where children go and play after school. Right now, there is no stop sign at the busy intersection. So the parents are concerned that the children are wandering into traffic and not being careful. And recently, a deaf child has moved into the neighborhood. The parents are concerned that there should be, at the minimum, a stop sign, but they want a stop light. So they're holding a meeting with their town council to bring this to their attention. So they've aroused the attention of their neighbors. They've gone to the council. They're showing a need, and they're showing how this need can be satisfied by implementing a stop sign, but the desired stoplight would be the best solution. And now They visualize the results. All of the children are able to cross the street safely at the stoplight. So the people at the meeting call for action. They sign a petition. They demand that their town council pay attention to them. And hopefully, the end result is that there is a stoplight installed on that corner. That is an example of using Monroe's motivated sequence in a persuasive speech. I'd like to offer some tips on choosing the right words. Words can be very, very powerful. So if you are a public speaker or an educator that is speaking to people all the time, or in your job, if you speak to your subordinates, committee members, your supervisors, or you put together quarterly reports for the top brass, you need to develop wordsmithing skills so that you are always giving relevant information in a way that captures the attention of your audience. You should avoid abstract and ambiguous words that refer to intangible qualities and ideas and concepts such as love, success, oh, it was just a tiny bit, or it was a whole bunch. Use concrete words that are specific. That way everyone knows exactly what you're talking about. There is no room for doubt. Be empathetic. Choose words that will not offend your audience. Choose words that will add impact and power to your text. Use a thesaurus to avoid repeating words. So you don't want to keep saying, it was a wonderful presentation. We had a wonderful time. Everybody there was just wonderful. You need to find a couple of more adjectives. I love my thesaurus. I use it all the time, and it's handy to have it online while you're writing. Just type in and search for a synonym. In conclusion, the two components of a successful speech presentation are speech content and speaker's delivery of that content. Wordsmithing skills help speakers choose the correct words for their presentations. Outlines can help speakers organize their speech content to better inform and/or persuade their audiences. Words have power. The better wordsmith you become, the more powerful your speeches will be and the more impact you'll have on your audiences. I'd like to show my bibliography here. I'd like to thank you for listening and being a part of this educational session. I'd like to thank IIU, and thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. We will discuss developing the delivery choices that speakers have with their content. Once we've put together our speech, now we bring the words to life. So I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.